Now, assimilation. Assimilation is very important because this is a STAR-tested concept. And so if you are taking your 11th grade US history STAR test, assimilation is going to be very important. And they ask assimilation questions on the STAR almost always. Okay, almost always. So it's very important that you know this concept. Assimilation is very kind of basic. And so basically what it is the US government hoped that teaching the white culture meaning speaking English, dressing in American fashion. And so they hope that teaching white culture would lead to peace between Indians and settlers in the West. Now, the US government first is going to want to take your land, right? Imagine this. You are a Native American. First off, the US government is going to want to take Native land, right? They're going to come and take your land. Two, they're going to say, well, we don't want you to look like a Native American. We don't want you to speak your Native American language. We don't want you to look like a Native American. We don't even want you to dress Native American, right? And so assimilation is going to be the concept or the plan under which Native Americans would give up their beliefs and way of life to become part of the American culture. Now, picture this. You have your culture, you have your virtues, you have your rituals, you have everything that makes you you, right? And a part of your family, a part of your ancestors, a part of your culture. And someone comes up to you and says, that's not right. Everything about you is not right. Everything that you believe, all of your virtues, it just doesn't fit our kind of concept or our way of life. And so what you're going to do through assimilation is you're going to strip everything that is you, your culture, your name, your background, your language, strip all of that and assimilate to more of the white culture. How does that sound? Yeah, not very good. So that is how these Indians are going to kind of, be like, what? First you take my land, now you want me to look and speak differently? And we're going to see how these Native Americans push back on that concept of assimilation. Now, if you see here, this slide, it says Native American boys sent to Indian school. Now, during this time, what the U.S. government did is that most Native Americans, right, didn't want to assimilate. And so, rightly so, right? Who would want to strip their culture to become the white culture? And so these Native American kids, these children, what the U.S. government started doing is the U.S. government started stripping their kids, started taking kids against their will, taking them from their parents and sending them to Indian schools. The purpose of those schools was to assimilate, was to bring your kids so that they can assimilate. So generation after generation after generation would be white, would be of the white culture. And so the famous school called the Carlisle Indian School, they sent a lot of Native Americans to that school to assimilate. And so in the STAR test, in the 11th grade STAR test, they used this picture, I would say maybe 4 times they have used this same picture. And what they do on the STAR test is they will post this picture. They'll have a question on the bottom and it'll say, what is being shown in these images? And so your answer would be assimilation, because you would see on this picture right here, these Native Americans have their dress, right? These children have their Native American tribal dress. They have their long hair, which is significant for Native Americans. They probably have things given to them by their ancestors or by their parents. And so they come with their culture on them. Right. So these Native Americans were probably taken from these children were probably taken from their parents and sent to this school. Now, if you look at the after picture, you see the change. You see the assimilation, right? Their hairs are cut. They're wearing clothing that is different from what they were wearing before. They're probably learning to speak English. They're probably learning a different religion, right? And so the objective of this was to get these children to assimilate, so that way to catch them early and assimilate, so that way generation after generation, the white culture would be predominant.